After losing her son and daughter-in-law, a widow finds solace and unexpected love through her bond with her granddaughter and a kind-hearted nurse. But when shadows of doubt threaten to tear them apart, they must fight to keep their newfound family intact. In the quiet town of Meadow Grove, nestled between rolling hills and a whispering forest, Emma Thompson lived in a house that once echoed with laughter. Now, the rooms were filled with a hollow silence that seemed to press against her heart. Her son, Lucas, and his wife, Sarah, had been the life of the house, and their daughter, Lily, had been the sun that shone brightly in their lives. But a tragic car accident had shattered their world, leaving Emma with a void that felt impossible to fill. Emma's grief was a physical pain that kept her awake at night. Her mind racing with memories of Lucas and Sarah, she would often find herself standing in Lily's room, looking at the photos of the happy family they once were. Lily, now 7, had retreated into a world of her own, her eyes reflecting a sadness that tore at Emma's heart. The little girl who used to chatter nonstop had become quiet and withdrawn, her laughter replaced by silent tears. Emma tried everything to reach Lily, but the girl's pain was a barrier that seemed insurmountable. She would often find Lily sitting by the window, staring out at the garden where Lucas and Sarah had once played with her. The house, once vibrant and full of life, now felt like a museum of memories, each room holding echoes of the past. Emma's friends and relatives would visit, offering words of comfort and support, but their presence only highlighted the emptiness that had taken root in her home. She would force a smile and nod at their words, but inside, she felt a chasm that grew wider with each passing day. One evening, as Emma sat alone in the dimly lit living room, she heard soft footsteps upstairs. She looked up to see Lily standing at the top of the staircase, her small frame silhouetted against the faint light from her room. Lily's eyes were fixed on a photo of her parents, her face a mask of pain and longing. Emma's heart ached as she watched her granddaughter, feeling the weight of her own grief compounded by Lily's. She wanted to go to her, to hold her and promise that everything would be all right, but she knew that words would not heal the wound that had been torn open in their lives. As Lily turned and walked back to her room, Emma felt a renewed determination to find a way to reach her. She knew that the road to healing would be long and fraught with challenges, but she was willing to walk it no matter how difficult it might be. For now, all she could do was hold on to the hope that someday, the shadows of grief would lift and the light of love would shine through again. Weeks turned into months, and the weight of grief continued to hang heavy over the Thompson household. Emma's efforts to connect with Lily seemed futile. Despite her best attempts, Lily remained distant, her world shrinking to the confines of her room and the garden where she would sit for hours. Lost in thought, Emma's own health began to falter under the strain. She found herself growing weary, her body aching with a tiredness that no amount of rest could alleviate. One day, as Emma struggled to prepare lunch, she felt a sharp pain in her chest. She managed to call for help, and within minutes, a paramedic team arrived. They rushed her to the hospital, where she was diagnosed with a mild heart attack. The doctor, a kind-faced woman with gentle eyes, recommended a nurse to help with Emma's recovery and to provide support for Lily. The nurse's name was Maria. She was a petite woman with warm, brown eyes and a soft, reassuring voice. Her presence was calm and soothing, and she moved through the house with a gentle efficiency that immediately put Emma at ease. Maria took charge of Emma's care, ensuring she took her medication on time and followed the doctor's orders. But she also saw the deeper need in the household, the need for emotional healing and connection. Lily, initially wary of the new presence in her life, gradually began to warm to Maria. The nurse had a way of being with the child that was neither intrusive nor overbearing. She would sit with Lily in the garden, reading stories or simply sharing moments of silence. Slowly, Lily started to open up, her words coming in soft whispers at first, then growing more confident. Maria's patience and kindness created a safe space for Lily to express her feelings. She would talk about her parents, her voice trembling but her eyes filled with a mix of sorrow and warmth. Maria listened, her presence a comforting balm on the girl's wounded heart. For Emma, Maria's arrival was a lifeline. She found herself looking forward to their conversations, where Maria would share stories of her own life, her struggles, and her triumphs. Maria's strength and resilience inspired Emma, giving her the courage to face her own grief. One evening, as Maria helped Emma settle into bed, she took her hand. "Emma," she said softly, "grief is a journey, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. You and Lily are not alone. Together we can find a way to heal." Emma felt a surge of gratitude and hope. For the first time since the tragedy, she felt a glimmer of light in the darkness. With Maria's help, she began to see that healing was possible, that love could still find a way to blossom even in the most broken of hearts. But little did she know, the journey ahead would be paved with not just healing, but also unexpected challenges and revelations that would test the very fabric of their newfound bonds. The bond between Lily and Maria deepened with each passing day, blossoming into a relationship that warmed Emma's fragile heart. Under Maria's gentle guidance, Lily began to emerge from the shell she had built around herself. She started to laugh again, her giggles filling the house like the sweetest music. Emma watched with tears in her eyes as Lily painted pictures with Maria in the garden, her small hands creating vibrant worlds of color and joy. Each painting told a story, happy memories of her parents, of picnics in the park, and of bedtime stories read by her father. Maria encouraged Lily to express her feelings through art, turning the girl's pain into something beautiful and tangible. The walls of the house soon began to change, adorned with Lily's artwork, each piece a testament to her healing journey. Maria also introduced routines that brought stability to their lives. Morning walks, baking sessions, and quiet evenings reading together became cherished rituals. Emma found herself joining in, her own heart lightening as she witnessed the transformation in Lily. The house, once shrouded in sorrow, began to feel alive again. One afternoon, as they sat in the garden, Lily looked up at Maria with wide, trusting eyes. "You remind me of Mommy," she said softly. "She used to sing to me when I was sad." Maria's heart swelled with emotion, and she gently wrapped her arms around the child. "I think she would be so proud of you, Lily," she whispered. "And she would want you to be happy." Emma watched from the porch, her heart full of gratitude. She saw in Maria not just a nurse, but a guardian angel who had brought light back into their lives. Maria's kindness extended beyond Lily. She took care of Emma with unwavering devotion, helping her regain her strength and confidence. Together, they began to rebuild their lives, creating new memories that honored the past while embracing the future. But the deeper the bond between them grew, the more vulnerable they became to the whispers of doubt and judgment from the outside world. As the small town of Meadowgrove began to notice the changes in the Thompson household, old prejudices and suspicions surfaced. Some questioned Maria's intentions, wondering why she had become so deeply involved in their lives. Yet, within the walls of their home, the love and trust between Emma, Lily, and Maria only grew stronger. They had found solace in each other, a bond unbroken by the storms of the past. Little did they know, those storms were far from over, and the strength of their connection would soon be tested in ways they could never have imagined. The whispers in Meadowgrove grew louder, like leaves rustling in a storm. Emma first noticed the change at church one Sunday when Mrs. Henderson, a longtime neighbor, pulled her aside. "Emma, dear," she said, her voice dripping with false concern, "I couldn't help but notice how close Maria's become to your family. Are you certain she's not overstepping?" Emma forced a polite smile, but the seed of doubt had been planted. Soon, others echoed similar sentiments at the grocery store, the pharmacy, even during Lily's school pickup. "She's awfully young to be so devoted," one woman murmured. "I heard she's been seen driving Emma's car." Another gossiped. Each comment chipped away at Emma's newfound peace. At home, Maria continued her gentle routine, unaware of the storm brewing outside. But Emma began watching her with cautious eyes. Was Maria staying too late? Did she linger too long when discussing finances? The questions gnawed at Emma's resolve. One rainy afternoon, the tension erupted. A letter arrived from Child Protective Services, prompted by an anonymous tip alleging inappropriate influence over Lily. Emma's hands shook as she read the formal notice. Maria stood frozen in the doorway, her face pale. "I would never," she began. But Emma cut her off sharply. "Did you tell someone about Lily's inheritance? About the trust fund?" The accusation hung in the air. Maria recoiled as if struck. "Emma, how could you think?" she whispered, tears welling in her eyes. Lily, who'd been coloring at the table, burst into sobs. "Don't make Maria leave," she wailed, clinging to the nurse's legs. That night, Emma lay awake, torn between fear and guilt. Maria's hurt expression haunted her. Down the hall, she heard muffled cries, Lily having another nightmare, calling for Maria. When Emma went to comfort her, Lily pushed her away. "You hurt Maria's feelings," the child accused. Emma's heart cracked. The next morning, she found Maria packing. "I can't stay where I'm not trusted," she said quietly. Emma opened her mouth to protest, but the doorbell rang. Outside stood a stern social worker holding a clipboard, ready to investigate. Maria met Emma's panicked gaze, one last unspoken question between them. Could their fragile bond survive this? Emma stood frozen in the foyer, the social worker's stern gaze piercing through her. Behind her, Maria clutched her suitcase, her eyes brimming with unshed tears. Lily's cries echoed down the hallway, a raw, desperate sound that shattered Emma's hesitation. In that moment, clarity washed over her. She stepped forward, blocking the social worker's path to Maria. "There's been a terrible misunderstanding," Emma declared, her voice steady with newfound resolve. She invited the social worker into the parlor, summoning every ounce of her strength. For 2 hours, Emma spoke not as a grieving widow, but as a mother fighting for her family. She revealed Maria's unwavering kindness, showed Lily's vibrant artwork inspired by her care, and presented medical records proving Maria's professional integrity. When Lily burst into the room clutching Maria's hand, the social worker's expression softened. "She's my family," Lily whispered, burying her face in Maria's skirt. The investigator left with a promise to dismiss the case. That evening, Emma found Maria on the porch swing, gazing at the stars. "I was wrong to doubt you," Emma said, tears streaming down her face. "You've given us everything, a home, a future, love." Maria squeezed her hand. "Love isn't measured in years, Emma. It's measured in moments like these. Months later, the courthouse buzzed with anticipation. Lily twirled in her new lavender dress as the judge entered. When the adoption decree was finalized, Maria becoming Lily's legal guardian, the room erupted in applause. Emma watched through happy tears as Maria lifted Lily into a spinning hug, their laughter echoing like wind chimes. That Christmas, 3 stockings hung by the fireplace. Maria's handmade ornaments adorned the tree beside Lily's glittery creations. As snow fell outside, Emma placed an old photo of Lucas and Sarah beside their newest family portrait, Maria beaming between her and Lily. "We found our way back," Emma whispered to the night sky. In the garden where Maria once sat with a grieving child, now bloomed a rosebush named Resilience, its petals unfurled crimson and gold, a living testament to love's power to heal even the deepest wounds. The house in Meadow Grove no longer echoed with emptiness, but with the symphony of a family reborn from ashes into something unbreakably whole.